It's Christmas, and NYPD detective John McClane is set for a reunion with his recently separated wife at her business's Christmas party at the impressive Nakatomi building in LA. But a group of terrorists, led by the enigmatic Hans Gruber, have other ideas with a heist. McClane has other plans and sets out to save his wife and save the day. He may die, but he doesn't want to die hard. That would be uncomfortable. Starring Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and Bonnie Bedelia.
Ahoy hoy, I'm Neil.
And I'm Pavo.
And welcome to another edition of Review Rewind, where this week we will be delving into the action-packed Die Hard. So Pav.
Yes.
When did you first see Die Hard? Did you see it at the cinema when it was first
No,
released?
I don't think I did. I would have been 19.
What was it, 89?
88.
88.
So yeah, I would have been 19. Saying that though, I was a massive Bruce Willis fan.
Right.
From Moonlighting. And I loved Moonlighting. It was Thursday nights back in the day when I was a young nipper.
Yeah.
It used to be was it something like Tomorrow's World at 7 o'clock? Then it used to be Top of the Pops.
That's it.
EastEnders, like Only Fools and Horses, or maybe like Blackadder, something like that. And then switch over to BBC Two. Moonlighting. Rest in peace, Al Jarreau. He died not long ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, only 72. But there's something... Bruce Willis, I think, in my childhood, he was the person I wanted to be.
He was cool.
He was very cool. And he was like the typical... As much as like you always wanted to be American, because Americans were always cool anyway. But he was that typical glint in his eye. When he had his haircut, so he was like had the spiky hair... There wasn't anybody. I can remember where I worked. I saw a picture of him, and he had a white shirt on, but had like thin blue stripes. So I bought a shirt that looked like that. I mean, I was a million miles away from looking like Bruce Willis, but I wanted to be him so much.
Yeah, right.
So much. And I don't know if you ever noticed. You ever noticed the pout that he did?
Sort of. I think I know. Is that like the little grinny sort of?
It's sort of. He sort of do the sort of thing with his. Well, you'll see it. Here, it's like just like this.
Mistake.
There you go. That's the pout. I used to do that, right? But just I ended up being involuntary. I used to pretend if I was talking to someone, I would pretend that there was a camera, and I would look at the camera and do this pout. I know. While talking to somebody, and somebody called me on it once as well. They said, "Who are you looking at?" I didn't realise, and I got so embarrassed. Yeah,
Blue Steel.
That's what I would do. It was literally Blue Steel. It was literally Blue Steel, and the more I think about it now, the more embarrassed I was about it. But I just wanted to be Bruce Willis.
Oh, bless. Well, I first saw it on VHS, and then I subsequently rented it many times. Because it's just one of those films you never get bored of seeing.
No.
It is probably one of the perfect action films.
I was actually going to say that. Because with the other films that we had on our list to do for this episode, I class Lethal Weapon as the same kind of movie. It's a near perfect movie.
Yeah.
It has... And I'd equate both of these movies. Not necessarily Predator, that was the third one. That's a different kind of movie. But they've both got lead stars that are flawed, that they're not indestructible,
seem a little bit on edge, but they've got that little bit of crazy. But they're people that men want to be and women want to be with. It's that typical sort of, they're not anti-heroes, but they're not. But they are heroes. They are heroes, but they've got rough edges. Because this wasn't his first movie. Blind Date was.
Blind Date was his first movie. That's right, yeah. And that wasn't a bad...
No, I quite liked it.
Wasn't a bad movie. The only problem was I think it was trying to be... It was basically David Addison.
Yeah.
Again,
well, it was.
That's what it was. And that was what's so good about this. I mean, this movie had quite a varied history before Bruce Willis got to it.
Yeah, who was supposed to be...
Well, originally... I think Clint Eastwood had the rights for it in the 70s and was going to direct it and star in it.
Right.
And it was called something else, and I can't remember what it was. I looked today and I haven't looked again.
I'm sure it was Stallone or one of those was involved at one time.
The weird one is that Robert De Niro was apparently lined up for it, but then pulled out because he was doing Midnight Run.
Right.
And Bruce Willis had auditioned for the Robert De Niro role in Midnight Run. So they sort of did a swap.
Oh, yeah. And how well that worked.
Indeed. And I did a little bit of research. Bruce Willis was filming Moonlighting while this was being filmed.
That's right.
So he did a little bit of like Michael J. Fox did with Back to the Future and Family Ties.
Yeah.
He was working on the TV show during the day and then went during the night to film Die Hard.
It was a great career move for him. And as well, you didn't know what sort of movie it was. Because the original video case, I was just a little bit too young because obviously it was an 18 or an X. Well, it would have been an 18 then, wouldn't it? The X's had gone. I wasn't quite 18 when it came out. I was only 16 or 17, so it's a video job for me. But it didn't really show you a lot on the video case. Do you remember?
To say what the movie was?
Yeah, it was just almost like his face with a skyscraper. You didn't have much of a clue. It was just the title, boom. It was, and I just rented it. I think I rented it for about 4 weeks on the trot. So I'd go in that Friday and think, actually, I'm going to watch that again. And did that for like...
Can you remember what the first clip was of the movie? I mean, like I say, with me, I didn't see what the movie was. I just saw that it was Bruce Willis.
Right.
And I was tracking his career because those were the days, kids, when it was a big thing for a TV actor to move up to movies.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, are they going to make it? Are they going to make... Like George Clooney was another one. That, are they going to make... And then when Blind Date didn't do particularly well, it was sort of like... Then you got relegated back to TV if you're... the movies didn't work. And this one sort of made it work for Bruce Willis, didn't it? Although he's had a checkered career when it comes to his movies.
The first clip no, I don't remember.
Mine was when he jumps off the building.
Right.
That was the first one that I could remember.
Could well have been that. I remember seeing it reviewed, actually, so it could have been that scene. I can't remember what scene they showed on with Barry Norman.
Yeah.
Because I used to be an avid watcher of that.
I can't actually remember where I saw it first. Because I can remember Die Hard 2 I saw in America when we went to LA.
Yeah, I saw that up near Alton Towers.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. But again, for me, it's a near perfect movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
So within this review rewind, we are going to be asking each other what our favourite certain things were. So if you watched the last one that we did on Jaws, you will know that we will be asking different parts.
Do you want me to go through the ones, what we're going to do?
You tell everybody.
We're going to go for favourite character, favourite line of dialogue, favourite image, favourite scene of the movie, and then we're going to give our toes up out of 5 rating. And then at the end, we're going to give each other an easy, medium, and hard question. And hopefully we haven't got the same questions, because that would be weird.
We'll just strike them out. So, without further ado then, we'll move straight on to favourite character.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Okay, who's going first?
Well, I'll let you go first.
So, okay. I'm going to be... The one thing about this movie is that it's got a fantastic cast.
Yeah.
And I was actually looking on IMDb, and you forget the depth of how good this cast is. I was going to go through... you got Al Powell, Reginald Vell Johnson, Paul Gleason, who was Deputy Police Chief Dwayne T. Robinson. Fantastic. And that Paul Gleason, he's had some fantastic roles.
Yeah.
He was in Breakfast Club.
He was
a teacher in Breakfast Club. Yeah. He was, I can't remember the name of the character, but in Trading Places.
Yeah, he's in that, isn't he? He's the one of the funniest lines in movie history. He was the private detective.
That's right, yeah.
When he got on the phone, which is just one of the funniest lines. It's just one of the most simple executions. I know we'll talk about that in another time, but when he just turns around and just goes,
"Hold on, fuck off."
It's just so funny.
And he says to Eddie Murphy, "I'm going to rip out your eyes and piss on your brain." and that's just a fantastic role.
He was a great 80s actor.
He was.
He was one of these people that you probably didn't know his name, but was in many 80s films.
And you know what? Until I saw, and this is weird to say as a movie fan, I only saw Breakfast Club a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I saw that he was in it, and I saw his name was Paul Gleason.
Yeah.
For the time that I first watched Die Hard, I thought Paul Gleason was Harry Ellis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I kept thinking, oh, that's Paul Gleason. Yeah, and in my mind, that was who Paul Gleason was. It wasn't until that, and I didn't even realise from watching Trading Places that guy was called Paul Gleason. So there you go. William Atherton as Richard Thornburg, one of the best slime bags. People will remember him as Walter Peck in the original Ghostbusters. I've never seen him in anything else. I mean, he's got to be in other things.
I watched a film, which is totally irrelevant to this, where he starred in a film called The Girl Next Door, which was based on true events.
Right. Was he a sleazebag in that?
No, he wasn't. He was one of the... He was when he was a youngster, but he'd grown up and he was full of remorse, and it was his flashback that...
right.
It's a shocking film. Honestly, it's shocking.
Really?
And you hate the people you're watching and what they do, but you actually sort of sympathise at the end with him. He plays the older version and tells the flashback.
Right.
But it is shocking, man.
Right.
And it's not an easy watch. But he was really good, and that would have been in the 2000s, so sort of 2000 to 2010, somewhere between there. I can't remember exactly.
Okay. Hart Bochner, that's Harry Ellis.
Okay.
Alexander Goodenough was Carl, Hans Gruber's
right.
That was brother, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, his brother was the one that died, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was he was like the muscle.
And of course, the roles that he was in, can you remember?
He was in he's dead.
He died very young,
yeah. He was in...
Can you think? This isn't one of your questions, by the way.
Oh, I can't.
He was in Witness.
That's right.
And he was also in The Money Pit. If you remember The Money Pit?
Was he in Mortal Kombat as well? Was that?
I don't know. He may well have been. I mean, he was the Russian ballet dancer, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. So he, and then Devereaux White. Do you know who Devereaux White played?
Was that Al Powell?
No, he played Argyle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Great role that is.
There you go.
So your favourite character was?
So my favourite character is, I'm going to be boring, is John McClane.
Right, what not to love?
It's somebody there, I think you see, he runs the whole wide range of emotions in the whole movie. You know, and I want to specifically talk about this movie, but as the movies went on, there's been 5 now, hasn't there? He's got more indestructible as the movies have gone on.
Yeah, he was flawed in the first movie, wasn't it? If he was hit, it hurt.
Yeah.
He was vulnerable. You rooted for him, but you felt that he could at any moment die.
Yeah.
You actually felt that, whereas like what you said, when the movies went on, you thought, oh, it's John McClane, well, he ain't going to die.
But he wasn't John McClane. That was the thing. Especially in the 5th one, they're walking through Chernobyl. And then and nothing's happened, and you know. And I've always said this about action movies: you have a little bit of artistic license because they're Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
But when there are like, it's even when someone gets shot in the shoulder. It's always been said that that's one of the most painful places you can get shot.
But they carry on.
But then people don't just carry on, and I've always wondered if that did happen in real life, would the adrenaline kick in and you'd be able to carry on?
I don't want to test it out, if that's all right.
Well, it's funny you say that because I've got a gun here. We're just going to give it a test.
I mean, I always remember the first time I watched Die Hard and you see Bruce Willis at the very end and how battered and blooded and tired.
But that's what I love.
And he was properly... That was it. It was the final showdown. It was either him or...
I love those kind of movies where it's somebody, like you say, that they are like he's all smartly dressed, or he's only got a vest on and a pair of trousers and stuff, but he's nice and clean, and then at the end he is just a complete, and he's been through a journey.
Yeah, he's bloody.
Yeah, he is just, and he is almost gone a little bit mad at the end, you know, and that's mine.
Yeah, mine. Yeah, it was a great choice, and I have to admit I did an art put in there, but my favourite character just nicked it because of the pantomime-ness of it. You're probably going to guess it's Hans Gruber and Alan Rickman. What a villain! Just pure class on how to do villainies, where you almost take it too cheesy and over the top, but you don't. You keep it in the realms of him being that evil bastard. Just the whole thing, and I'm shocked that was pretty much his first film.
Yeah.
You know...
Well, that was apparently his first
major role, wasn't it?
Major role. He'd just done theatre.
Yeah. I think he'd done a little bit of TV.
Yeah, and TV.
Yeah.
But you only got to look at. I was actually looking at photographs online, and you can't see that is the same person that plays the sheriff. Was he sheriff of Nottingham?
He was the sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff of Nottingham in Prince of Thieves, and that he's also Severus Snape. Exactly. They look like three completely different people.
And you wouldn't have known that he was an Englishman.
No.
To be fair,
no.
He did it so well that you thought he was a German. And just all the deliveries of the lines, I will count to 3, and all of that, you just think, he's going to do it. He's a bastard.
He doesn't come over as evil. He comes over as this suave, sophisticated, ruthless. But the best thing I thought about the character is that all of this front and all of that, and like Holly Gennaro says near the end, is that you're just a thief.
Yeah.
And in the end, all the smart
I'm an exceptional
exactly. But it's in the end, that's all he is.
And you just get that impression that he is clever and he's got one up on everybody. And well, as we know, if it hadn't been for John McClane, he would have got away with it.
He would have done.
But a perfect villain. And talking a bit more, he went on to then do Prince of Thieves, which was the same sort of baddie in a sense, but just amped up 100%, wasn't it? And became over the top and pantomime villain. But no, I loved him in that. I absolutely love Alan Rickman in that. I just think that is probably, and people have probably cussed me, but probably one of his best roles he's ever done.
I would say that. I would completely agree. I mean, again right from his first moments. When he's checking his little notebook and it's waiting there, and there's no shouting. He doesn't lose. Yeah. He doesn't lose his cool until like he realizes that he needs the detonators, and he lets that Carl be the one that's tearing the stuff up. Right up to one of the greatest deaths on screen.
Yeah, brilliant one. Fantastic.
Right, so what have you got for your favourite line of dialogue?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Well, I am denied at this because there's some not simple, but sort of underrated ones that people forget that I really enjoy. Like, you ask for a miracle, I give you the FBI, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's been mimicked sort of further on down the line. But the one I do love, and I used it after watching it, probably in so many wrong situations, was
yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Brilliant.
It is
perfect. I know it's such an iconic line, and people say, "Oh, it's just obvious choosing that as your favourite dialogue." But why not? I mean, it's been replicated, it's been used. You say Die Hard, somebody will say that. And
it's the number one, isn't it? Yeah. It is. We're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
It is that quotable line. But it's like you say. There's so many movies that have got 2 or 3 zingers.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jaws did, Smile, You Son of a Bitch, which we covered on the last episode. But there are so many great, they're not necessarily one-liners, but so many great buttons to scenes where, it's like, Welcome to the Party, Pal was another one that I loved. I don't know whether you can even count Ho, 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 now I have a machine gun as one of the favourite lines or not.
Well, yeah. It's
another iconic.
Alan Rickman,
I think.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, he does.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
But I mean,
that whole speech before he says yippee-ki-yay, what have we got ourselves a fan of John Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
And it goes all through that.
I'm more partial to Roy Rogers, actually.
And people forget that Die Hard, although it's a fantastic action film, it's a really well scripted film.
Absolutely.
The dialogue is so strong. And it's not many action films that can be up there with that. Because you can usually have great action, but very little dialogue or shite dialogue. But a great action film. But that's got both. And that's why it makes it that perfect movie. So what's yours, pal?
Well, mine is, it's literally, I think, one of the lines before Welcome to the Party, Pal. So when Bruce McClane. I knew that was going to happen. When John McClane is, and I think that's when he's he's phoned. No,
he's commandeered one of the.
So they're sending a car around, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's right. No, didn't he get up onto the ceiling?
That's right.
And he's spoken to the policeman, and they're saying, "Well, look, if you come and arrest me, come down here and arrest me." And they start shooting at him, and he gets down, and they send Al Powell in the car, and he's driving around, and the line that always gets me every time is,
"He's driving his car, Stevie Wonder."
Politically incorrect.
I know, but it's funny.
But that to me is like a typical Bruce Willis of that moment kind of comment. It's almost like a David Addison comment.
Yeah.
It's like a moonlighting comment. But that's my line. That's the line that I love. But again, the
loads of nuggets.
Yeah, the hand.
No, there's loads of little nuggets of dialogue.
The Hans Gruber when he's like talking to Mr. Takagi and he says, nice suit, Mr. Takagi. Or the name of the place, and he said, I believe Arafat gets his made there. And it's all, like you say, it's those written. Bits that are such really fantastically written. Yeah, so that's mine.
Right, so favourite image.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Is this me, is it?
Yeah.
It's me, right. I'm going to go for the slow motion death of Hans Gruber.
Okay, the fall.
The fall. It's
it's the watch, isn't it?
But that moment when the watch, the clasp goes, and the story of it. He was on like a some kind of mechanism that drops him, and the director John McTiernan said, right, we'll count 1, 2, 3, and then we'll drop you, and he dropped him on 2. So that look of shock on his face is a real look of shock. Yeah. And I've always looked at that and thought, how did they film that? Yeah. It's just fantastically done. And then finished with another fantastic button, which is the, what was his name? Dwayne T. Robinson going,
I hope that's not a hostage.
As he's falling.
That's right.
Fantastic end, because I don't know whether you're the same, but when you think in nightmares, you're in that kind of position where not only have they got hold of your hand so you could fall over, but in slow motion that gun is coming up as well, and there's nothing you can do. You're trying to get rid of him. If he fires that gun, you're dead. And it's just perfectly placed, perfectly done.
Yeah, it is. It's an absolute it's brilliant. And the way they've done that with the fall, the hair, and it genuinely looks like he's going down. For its time, I mean, some people might say the effects are a bit dated.
I wouldn't.
I don't.
It holds up.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Because there isn't anything really there, apart from maybe.
No, I meant on his fall. You can see a bit of the whatever they call it, where the superimposed.
Yeah.
But other than that, the rest of the movie is flawless. Yeah, it's practical effects.
Yeah,
it's practical effects.
Yeah.
The stuntman was working hard on that movie. So my favourite image is you mentioned it very much earlier on in this conversation, was McClane on the roof. He's going to blow. It's going to blow. He needs to get off there fast, so he gets the hose pipe, just the normal the fire hose, wraps it around and jumps off in the nick of time with the boom. That whole image.
It's another iconic.
It's an iconic image, and that just sums up the action, the tense of the film, because you're like, how the hell is he going to get out? How the fuck is he going to get off that building? Where's he going to go? And fantastic image, fantastic. It's just it's ingrained. When I think Die Hard, I think that explosion.
I'm sure that MythBusters did a test on that, and he would have actually broke his back if he'd done that for real.
Probably, but then again, like we've said, I mean, you look at any action film, we go to Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's all practical effects. But that guy who gets put down in the well of souls, he ain't going to work out how to get out, is he?
No, that's true.
Nobody's not going to work out.
That's true.
All those snakes coming, there's obviously... No, you're just dead.
Yeah, it's another one of those poetic licenses.
And
artistic license.
Well, if you didn't have them in an action film, they'd be pants, because everybody would be dead in the first ring.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's the same as when you're having a fist fight with someone. One punch and you'd normally be on your back. Yet these guys can... You look at the way that they're fighting each other. Carl and
I mean, he'd be knackered, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I got my feet cut open like that. I'm not running anymore. I'd be just sobbing. Right, so move on then to the favourite scene.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And mine, I will just say 2 words to you for this scene. Bill Clay.
Bill Clay.
This is Alan Rickman acting superclass. This is. So Hans Gruber's gone to check the detonators himself, hasn't he? The explosives, I should say. And he jumps down, sees a pair of bare feet, stands up, and there's John McClane. Now, John McClane obviously doesn't know who he is. And this is how quick as a villain he is, Hans. He's obviously seen the sign behind him, William Clay. He says,
You're,
Clay. Bill Clay.
and
but he breaks down to start with, doesn't he? Oh, you're one of them. You're one of them. Yeah. Oh, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Which is brilliant. But obviously he didn't quite get the upper hand on it. No bullets. Yeah. Didn't quite get the handle on it. But that whole scene is an acting masterclass in an action film that you don't often see. That sort of acting. It's brilliant how he switches from accent to accent. And he sounds convincing in both. God, doesn't he ever? But, we miss you, Alan Rickman.
We do.
Really do. So, yours?
Actually, it leads on from that. It's one of the scenes that's not that far after that. It's John McClane picking the glass out of his feet.
Yeah, when he breaks down.
Yeah, I think that whole... It could have very easily been very hammy.
Yeah.
But I think because you've grown to love him in his situation, that you feel for him, that he feels that he's not going to see his wife again. He's up against it, and he knows that he hasn't got many bullets left. He hasn't got any friends up there, and he doesn't know really how many terrorists are there. They've all got detonators. They're going to blow the place up anyway, even if he can't. He's hurting, and his feet are cut to shreds, and he feels that. Which then gives him the idea of, hang on a minute, then why were you up there looking? What were you looking for?
Yeah.
And that's when he realises that the whole place is going to blow. But I think look, Bruce Willis isn't the best actor in the world, but he's a movie star.
Yeah.
Which I think I've always said are two completely different things.
I think he's sometimes he's better than people give him credit for. I mean, especially in that scene, he's getting a little bit emotional, but he's trying to hold it together, and it's a better scene. It's a bit like Sylvester Stallone. People say he can't act, but yeah, if you break down that scene at the end of First Blood, it is absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
And it's the same sort of thing with Bruce Willis. He does these little performances and nuances in these performances where you think, no, actually, that's good. That's good. That's better than people are going to give you credit for.
Yeah.
And I do think with Bruce Willis' performances as John McClane, people forget how good he was originally because of how much of, like you said, he becomes bulletproof throughout the movie.
And I think it's also now that he's at the point in his career now where he seems to be doing a bit like the Nicolas Cage career, where he just seems to be doing anything.
It's just
and there's lots of straight to DVD things.
He's done a lot of films that we'll probably never see.
Yeah, and it's really weird. It's
gone were those days where you'd probably watch everything Bruce Willis was in, and now we're not ever gonna see everything.
Because he went through a good patch when it was obviously like Unbreakable and Sixth Sense and Fifth Element and all of those, some really, really good movies, and then
movies.
Then he just seemed to like just it's not like he's not trying, because
do you think, I mean, we're going off topic of the Die Hard, do you think Bruce Willis ruined his own career a little bit by becoming known as a bit of an arse?
Possibly.
People...
But it hasn't stopped him from working.
No, but then he hasn't really done the big films.
No, that is true. Maybe the reason that he's doing a lot of these ones is because he's not getting the same money he's getting.
And people don't want to work with him.
No, but I'm sure that he's not hurting for money.
No, I wouldn't have thought so, but then his lifestyle might be that he has to. Right, so Toes Up. So Pav, shall I go first?
If you want to, you go first.
No, you choose again.
No, you can go first.
All right then. Five Toes Up. It's so obvious, isn't it? It's a perfect Five Toe Up movie.
Yeah, I really don't know whether it's worth doing Toes Up on these classic movie reviews, because
it'd be interesting, because some of them could be a 4. They're all going to be 3 toes or above movies. There's no two ways about it. These are classic movie reviews. But it's interesting to see, because you might well come across and say, actually, No, I don't think it's warranted
maybe.
a 5 movie.
I mean, I if we could, I'd give this 6.
Yeah,
this is as near a perfect action movie as I think you can possibly get.
Yeah, it's up there with Raiders of the Lost Ark for me.
I would agree.
One of those movies that I have watched countless times, and I could go back tonight and put it on and be more than happy to sit and watch it from start to finish.
Yeah, I can remember buying the Region 1 version of the DVD,
right?
The special edition,
yeah,
where you could. The scene where they blow Mr. Takagi's head off,
that's right.
You can cut it your own way.
Yeah.
You take the scenes and put them in different order. Did you have that?
Yeah.
It was a fantastic...
this is when they used to put effort into DVDs, where you had a menu screen that actually moved.
And you could also find little hidden extras. Yeah.
Gone are those days.
I was just going to say as well that... a couple of little facts. Bruce Willis received a then unheard of $5 million for the movie.
Okay.
A fee that was approved by Fox president Rupert Murdoch. Hart Boxner's line, "Hans Booby," was ad-libbed. Alan Rickman's quizzical reaction was genuine. Hans Booby. Right then, we're going on for the quiz.
We are. So I shall go with you first, and you'll know this one.
This is
easy. No, this is too easy. I've realised because you've already said who it is. Who plays Holly, John's wife?
Oh, Bonnie Bedelia.
Name another film she was in.
Presumed Innocent.
Oh, well done.
She was lovely.
She was.
She's lovely.
Well,
yeah, see some pictures of her online when she was younger. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, you're easy, which I also have alluded to this one already. So, John McClane is a cop from which city?
Detroit.
No,
it's not.
Oh, you've said your answer. It's wrong.
I was thinking of Beverly Hills Cop.
It's New York. I said NYPD on our intro.
Sorry.
Oh, that is disastrous.
It is. That's
that
right. I knew that as well.
Disastrous.
Why did I say
Detroit.
Beverly Hills Cop in my head.
Oh, right. Here's the medium.
Go on then.
I had to change my original one because the answer was Bill Clay.
Which
so I had
is my favourite.
Yeah. So your medium question is: what was special about the FBI agents that were sent after the heist?
Johnson & Johnson.
They were both named Johnson. Yes.
Which now leads me nicely onto my question.
Okay.
What percentage of hostages do the two FBI agents consider acceptable to die?
Is that your medium question?
Yeah. They make such a... If you watch it again, it's quite big and flippant the way they...
Yeah. 28%?
No, that's close. 20 to 25%.
Oh. Right then. Now it's
the hard question.
The Die Hard question.
The Die Hard question. Who wrote the screenplay for Die Hard?
Oh, God. You know what? 'Cause I was... Oh, God.
Don't you?
No, that says who wrote the novel. I don't know.
Jeb Stewart.
Jeb Stewart.
Yeah, this is his greatest film. If you look what he's written afterwards, it's like, okay. He got away with a bit of a classic there, didn't he?
All right, here's your hard one. Your Die Hard one. When the terrorists are waiting for the SWAT team to attack Nakatomi Plaza, one of them takes a chocolate bar from the confectionery stand. What chocolate bar did they take?
It's the Chinese guy, isn't it? And he takes... Is it a Reese? It's a Reese... Or is it Hershey's bar?
Is that what you're going for?
I'm going to go Hershey's bar.
No, it was a Dairy Crunch. I had to re-look at it and watch the scene again because the movie's on Netflix at the moment. I had to watch it again just to double check. But
you should be watching that on Blu-ray, Pav.
I've got it now. I've got it.
That's the way you want to watch it, in that pure high definition. It's the only way to watch it. So you tell us, any one of those favourites of ours, are they the same as yours? Is yours the favourite character, or do you prefer somebody else? Favourite image from a movie? Are we missing something and we've forgotten something?
Favourite line of dialogue? Tell us. I mean, I'm sure we could get loads of different favourite lines of dialogue. But that's it. That's episode 2 of Review Rewind.
And there'll be look out on our Twitter feed, Pancast Pods, to find out what will be reviewed next.
Yeah, your
choice will be one of 3.
Indeed. So that's it.
Yes.
Please come and subscribe. It'll be up there somewhere. come and like the video, come and share the video, and like I say, come and subscribe and hit that little bell icon, and that means you'll get notified every time we release a new video.
So thank you very much, Pav.
Well, thank you very much, Neil.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We'll see you all again soon.
So yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.